Today we're going to be completely rebuilding the New York Jets and setting them up for a successful future. Let's hop right into it. Without a doubt, we've seen over the last few years one of the most important parts of rebuilding and starting your franchise in the right direction is a coach. You got to get the right head coach. And I think there's a lot of good options this offseason. Starting with, obviously, keeping Aaron Glenn. What do you think about keeping Aaron Glenn for the New York Jets?
I don't know, Matt. His clips along the sideline, they're pretty funny, if you've seen them. I think that's cool. I think seems like a guy that players might like. But he's not done a great job. This defense has been horrible at the beginning of the year with Quinnen Williams, with Sauce Gardner. This defense on paper should have been top half of the league probably. Yeah. But it was awful. So I just can't see a world where you should keep him. I think he will be kept just because, it's first year. But I think we should move in a different direction.
I completely agree. It's the fact that he was a DC last year, like he's gotten that opportunity to play call before. He should know play calling, and he's taken the play calling duties of the Jets, if I'm not mistaken. And he's done a horrible job with that. I mean, like you said, this defense was supposed to be at least top half the league, and this defense has been awful, one of the worst in the NFL. Obviously, now they traded their stars. Low-key, their defense got better when they traded their stars, which I don't know what that whole thing is, but it should have been good to begin with, right? So, and Quinnen Williams has looked amazing ever since he left. I don't know if you've seen all that.
Yeah, he's been a great pass rusher, which
incredible.
Is the thing he couldn't do.
Right, and so that. You kind of point to a little bit of coaching with that. And like you said, he's a great locker room guy, it seems. He's dancing up and down the sidelines on blocked field goals. I love Aaron Glenn's energy. But that only gets you so far. You can't be a complete head coach with just energy. And what we're looking to do with the New York Jets today, I'm expecting a lot more from my head coach. I need someone who's going to develop maybe a quarterback if we end up going that route, developing an offense, developing a defense, hiring the right coordinators, calling good plays. And I don't think Aaron Glenn can do really any of that except maybe pump up my guys. So maybe I'll bring him in for a locker room speech or something. But I agree. I think we need to move on in a different direction.
I mean, I don't know if we should really keep him around at all. But what do you think? Do you think we should just stick with a defensive guy and transition more of an offensive head coach?
I feel like we're transitioning to an era where almost all the top of the league coaches are offensive guys. The one guy I think of that I just don't think's talked about enough is Mike McDonald. He's done a phenomenal job through his first 2 seasons. I think it's really time to start talking about him as an elite head coach. But that's a discussion for a different video, obviously. But I think that's a good transition into one of his guys. One of the guys he brought in this offseason was Clint Kubiak, who I liked out of New Orleans. I think his brother, maybe his dad. I don't even remember. One of the two. His relative coached us to our Super Bowl, our latest Super Bowl, the Broncos. But he's done a phenomenal job with the Seahawks offense. Sam Darnold's looked like a top 10 quarterback this season, undoubtedly. JSN's had a historic level season. Obviously, that's died down a little bit. It doesn't look like he's going to break the record or anything, but still have an incredible year. And this is all with no run game. I mean, they have no run game whatsoever. He's made Kenneth Walker more efficient. He's done a phenomenal job, and I think he's definitely one of the top candidates for this position.
Yeah, I think he's going to be easily a top 3 most sought-after coach. There's also, we could get Brian Daboll.
Yeah, that's a big discussion point.
I mean, I know a lot of people aren't going to like it, kind of like the ugly option as offensive play callers go, but we saw what he did with Josh Allen. The second Jackson Dart stepped in, he also looked good. He's had offenses that have looked really good, and I think he's still an option for another team, even though obviously it didn't end well with the Giants.
I think that Brian Daboll gets way too much hate. He does a good job. I mean, think about how many close games this Giants team has played in and how many close games they should be playing in. It should be a lot less than what they are. Yeah, they're been selling at the end of games, and we're like, okay, maybe that's on Daboll, so they let him go. They've also lost close games as soon as he left in the dumbest ways possible, dumber ways than when Daboll was there, like that Lions game when he fumbled a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. I mean, Daboll did a phenomenal job developing players, drafting especially. He helped that GM draft so well. They've had arguably top 3 draft the last 2 seasons, basically. You know what I'm saying? And so they've had really good drafts the last 2 years. And
I just don't really give credit to people when drafting Malik Neighbors. Wow, you had the 6th overall pick or whatever it was.
Yeah, but that's still
and you got the most obvious player, and he was good.
Yeah, but
I don't give credit for that. If you have
you need to get
fourth,
credit because
I think that last draft was really good.
Obviously.
But other than that GM and Daboll, I don't know how much he had to do with it, but their drafts have been terrible.
Well, I don't think the GM's very good, to be honest.
He's awful. I can't believe they kept him.
But I think Daboll's helping a lot.
Clean the house in when you fire your coach most of the time.
I don't know. I just think he gets too much hate. Like you said, we've seen what he did with Josh Allen. I mean, that's an incredible job. He transformed Josh Allen into an MVP, and I think that he's a big portion of that development for him. Maybe he's just better as a coordinator. That's remained to be seen. Maybe he gets another opportunity as a coordinator. Maybe we bring in a defensive guy and we have him come in as a coordinator. That'd be an awesome scenario, I think. Yeah. But obviously obviously that's not as realistic as an opportunity necessarily. I think the only defensive guy I actually wrote down, because like I said, besides keeping Aaron Glenn, which I never really wanted to keep him, was Jeff Hafley. You know him pretty well, but he's done a phenomenal job this season with the pass rush, the scheming, and just, kind of hiding the secondary in a way, like the corners specifically. I think there's definitely a weakness there on the defense, and he really does a good job of not letting it get attacked too much. Nate Hobbs struggled a lot in the year. Just put him on the bench, kind of like that for you guys. His safety room's really good. The pass rushers have been amazing. The linebackers are really good, and he's helped develop all of them. Young defense. He's done a really, really good job, and I would expect him to be a head coaching candidate this offseason for sure. But like I said, he's the only defensive guy I wrote down because I just don't know how confident I am in wanting to bring in another defensive guy, especially this New York Jets team that's just been so bad at offense for so many years.
Yeah, I mean, I also wrote down another name. I wrote down Chris Shula, the Rams DC, just because all these young players are coming in for the Rams on defense, and they're all playing so well. Like, obviously, you expect guys like Jared Verse to play well. He's a superstar. But you got guys like Quentin Lake, who's now emerged into a superstar. He was either a late-round pick or undrafted.
He's so good.
What was that? McCullough, the safety. He rarely plays. Whenever he plays, he looks good. All these players, there's no players on their team that just look bad.
Right.
Every single player comes in, they look good. I think he's a great defensive mind. He's only like 35 or something.
He fixed Emmanuel Forbes. Let's talk about that.
Completely fixed him.
Yeah.
Their corners, like on paper, huge weakness, but you don't even notice it at all.
They have a top 5 defense probably. So, like, definitely a good shout. I mean, that's another great
friends
candidate.
with McVay. McVay loves him too. So
yeah. So I don't know necessarily. I mean, those are the only 2 guys I'd even consider for defensive guys. And then I also wrote down Joe Brady. I've been a big Joe Brady guy over the last couple of seasons, just because I think he took over. I think it was like 2.5 years ago, like halfway through one season. Josh Allen was really struggling with turnovers that season, like really, really bad. They looked phenomenal in the playoffs. Then you get an offseason with Joe Brady. Josh Allen comes out and wins MVP with him because he was able to. I mean, people are going to be really mad at me for saying this. I think he was able to limit Josh Allen in ways he needed to be limited because Josh Allen was too risky. He turned the ball over too much. He threw it into harm's way. He fumbled a lot. I mean, I don't know if people just forgot about that. He used to be a turnover machine, even when people thought he was good. Even when people thought he was good. Like, he was the turnover machine. Like, he was leading the league in picks. He was going absolutely insane on the turnovers. Joe Brady has really brought down this offense to kind of a boring offense in a way of where, like, there's a lot of... There's a lot of short passes.
Allen's a very interesting player to watch.
Yes.
And James Cook, I don't think this offense is ever going to be boring.
I'm talking more about last year. Obviously, James Cook's really emerged this year, but James Cook was good last year, not anywhere near this good. And I think that people think Josh Allen did more than he did last season. But a lot of it was first read stuff. Most of it wasn't down the field. Like, I saw multiple games last season where he didn't even complete a pass past the first down marker, and they were still scoring a ton of points because this offense was so well, and like they can methodically march down the field. And I think that's what I like to see in an offensive coordinator, someone that can really know what their quarterback's weaknesses are, because everyone's going to have them no matter how good of a quarterback you are, and able to put them in the right situation to succeed to the fullest. I mean, he won MVP. I don't think he deserved it, but like he did. He won it, right? And so I think without Joe Brady, that probably doesn't end up happening. This season, Josh Allen's been a little bit worse. I think he's thrown down the field a little bit more, but I've still liked what I've seen from this offensive play calling standpoint. And I think Joe Brady is going to be another candidate. He's been a candidate for a couple years now. So maybe not my top candidate, but I think he's definitely someone that deserves to be mentioned.
Yeah. So, who do you think we're going to end up going with here?
I really like Clint Kubiak. I've liked him for a while now, so he's probably the top of my list, but that's for offense. If we want to go defense, I'm cool with either of the defensive guys.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, like, would he really want to come to the Jets? Like, if this does well, we want to do multiple of these, and we don't want to just hire the same coach every time because we think he's the best candidate.
Right.
Do we think he is the best fit here for the Jets?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the reason I want to, like I said, offensive guy, this has been a defensive team for a long time. We had Saleh, we had Glenn, and, even if I don't remember who the coach was before Saleh, but I know that it wasn't good offensively. Like there just have not been a good offense for so long. I think this team needs some offense from wherever it comes from. They just need some offensive firepower. I think this is a team that needs to hire an offensive guy.
All right, so...
But we could also go Daboll if we want.
I don't know.
Daboll's interesting because he's got the experience. He's going to be able to maybe help develop our players. It's not going to be his first time as a head coach. And, he's already been in New York. I don't know. Maybe he's another interesting option because we want to be developing right now.
I feel like the interview is going to say a lot about Daboll.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're not interviewing him. We don't know. He could just be awful, and I don't feel like his upside is that high for a guy that could just crash and burn like he did in New York.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think he's an interesting option though. I'd say Clint or Dable would be for me.
Interesting. Okay, I was thinking Brady or Clint.
Brady or Clint. Okay. I'd be cool to go Joe Brady, keep him in the AFC East. Maybe he goes up against the Bills a couple times, knows how to beat Josh Allen. That'd be interesting. You want to go Joe Brady?
I don't know. It's so hard. I don't know who would want to go to the Jets. They're so cursed.
I just don't think anyone really wants to go to the Jets. Like, it's not like a big want or anything.
But Brady's going to be able to get a job, like, anywhere, right? Well, not anywhere, but, like, I think he's going to be a very sought-after candidate.
I think Kubiak will be, too.
Yeah. Would either of them really want to come to the Jets?
I don't know. I mean, you get a head coaching offer, you're going to want to go there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you only get one or two. Not like you have to realize a highly sought, there's not a Ben Johnson candidate. Not everyone's going to offer the same guy. They might get like 2 offers, 3 offers, but like they might get the same 2, 3 offers. They might only have one to pick from realistically. Like, you never know. So,
okay. So which one do you want to go with? I'll just give the decision to you.
Let's go Joe Brady. I like it.
All
I think it's fun. Keeps them in division, gives them a little rivalry there. And I think it's not necessarily what everyone expects from this Jets team. So I think it's fun. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about the franchise cornerstones for a second here. Obviously, like these are the guys we want to keep. For 100%. Their contracts aren't up or anything. They're young, maybe. Franchise cornerstones. They're guys that are going to be here for the length of our rebuild. Hopefully, we can compete with these guys still here. First one I wrote down was obviously Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson is a franchise cornerstone. This guy's a wide receiver 1. He's been very good since he entered the league, no matter who his quarterback is, and I can't wait to see him with an actual quarterback.
Yeah, hopefully we get him one in this rebuild. I also have Olu Fashanu. He's been a great tackle for them, especially in pass protection. Him and Armand Membu, who I also have down. They're going to be one of the better tackle duos in a few years. They're both like 22, 23.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people talk about that. This line is going to be elite in a few seasons because we also have Joe Tippmann on here. I mean, all these guys are young. All these guys are good, and they're all going to be developing together on the same offensive line. I mean, this is a great situation to bring a young quarterback into. If we can get a couple weapons, maybe a couple pieces on defense, get a good offensive coach, like I said, I think we can be in a solid situation, especially with these 4 picks they have in the first 2 rounds. That's an amazing start, and I think they have another first next year, an extra first next year as well. Right. So I think this Jets team is in a phenomenal situation to go all out and try to start rebuilding. I think they did this trade deadline absolutely perfectly. I also wrote down Mason Taylor. He's not a leader or anything like these other guys, but he's someone we want here. He's shown some promise. He's shown something in this first season here with the New York Jets with some terrible, terrible quarterback play. It's not anything we're trying to address this offseason.
Yeah, definitely not.
So maybe we move on from him if he plays bad next year or something. Maybe we don't see any signs of improvement or anything, but it's someone we're keeping for this season 100%. So I threw him down on here. And then also Will McDonald. He started really strong. What was it, 2 seasons ago? Top of the sack leaderboards. But he's still been a good pass rusher for them.
Yeah.
Maybe not. He's not a star or anything. But he can definitely be a good number 2 pass rusher.
Yeah. Well, his biggest problem is in the run game. He's just not really. He's not good at all in the run game. Same with Jermaine Johnson. I think we need a new edge in there. But yeah, Will McDonald can stay. He's under contract for next year, and he's definitely shown enough flashes for me.
Right. We're definitely not getting rid of him or anything. And then is there anybody else that you wrote down?
Azrai Thomas, the rookie, shown a lot of promise. Obviously, the problem with him is his athleticism. He's pretty slow, but it hasn't really been exposed too much in the NFL so far. He kind of took over for Sauce when he left. And, yeah, I think he's a second-round pick, so definitely got to keep him around.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing well, and you're a rookie, you're going to stay on this football team. You're going to get opportunities to play. So definitely makes sense. And is that it for your list of franchise cornerstones? Well, I think that next is kind of the most fun option. Maybe what people you can go so many ways here, which is the quarterback options. I wrote down so many options here, not to mention the possibility of drafting a guy. We'll talk about that when we get closer to a draft, I assume. We'll talk about the prospects there and if we want to take one. But just in free agency alone, we can bring in guys like Daniel Jones. I don't think that necessarily is the best option, and I don't think
I wouldn't do that for the Jets.
Definitely, it's more of like a team that's maybe got a good, like the Colts situation was last season, where they have a really good football team and just kind of throw a chance on a guy. Coming off a big injury, he started playing a little bit worse towards the end of that season. Who knows? Maybe the Colts even give him another chance. We'll see. But it's not really what we're looking for. Just thought we should shout him out a little bit. Someone I'm very interested in, Trey Lance, is going to be available.
I'm very interested in Trey Lance. He's looked so good on the Chargers every time he's came in. Came in like a couple weeks ago, looked good, brought them down the field. Then obviously Herbert came back. And in the preseason, it looked like he took a lot of major strides. This is a guy who played almost nothing in high school, almost nothing in college. I think I saw a stat once. It was his NFL reps, like it was after season 3 or something. And all of his college reps and all of his high school reps, every snap he took combined, or it was every pass attempt he took combined, was less than Brady's last season or something.
That's insane.
Like he has had no
experience.
Work. So it's how is he supposed to get better?
Yeah.
But at this point, I think he's a good guy to take a shot on to be like the next Sam Darnold.
Yeah, and I really think he can be. Mm-hmm. Like you said, just no experience. You never see anything like this. This dude went third with that little experience. He's got to show something incredible there, right? Like, he's got the talent. He's got athleticism. He's got everything you kind of need from a quarterback. He's got the tools, right? Mm-hmm. It's about that decision-making. It's about the accuracy. Can he work on all that? And he's really shown that he has been in the preseason. And obviously, preseason doesn't mean anything. But that's like the perfect guy to sign to a one-year deal. Give him a shot while you're rebuilding. We've talked about this for a long time. We really think teams should do that more, to the point where, like, why aren't any teams doing that? Like, this guy's sitting on the bench when, a trash team could really use a guy like this to just go out there and see if he becomes good. And then, look, guess what? You have a quarterback. Like, that would be a huge plus. And I think that when he's shown, like, he hasn't played bad at all in the preseason. Like, it's not like he's had, like, 1 or 2 good games. Every game he plays, he's played really
Except
well.
Except for the Cowboys. I don't know if you watched
that. That was bad. That was 2 years ago. That was a long time ago. He's gotten better and better. And like you said, he's gotten no work. And now he gets to sit here with, like, a real NFL team, and he gets to go in their practices. He gets to watch Herbert. He gets to learn under Herbert, who's got some of the, like, smoothest, like, tool, like, some of the best tools in the NFL. And I just think that he's gotten so much opportunity to learn. He's learned from Jim Harbaugh now. Like, I think that these opportunities have given him not the same experience as playing, obviously, but it's given him something that he needed, which was just time. He needed time. He's still young. He's only 20. He's going to be 26 entering the season. He's still got so much time. And he's been in the league for, like, 5 years. He's going to be 26 when he enters. He's fine. I think that this is one of the top candidates to give a shot on.
Yeah, 100%. He's going to be cheap, too.
Very.
He actually did sign to the Chargers for more expensive than I thought. I think it was like a 1 year, $6 million. But honestly, for a team like the Jets who have so much money, might as well take a shot on this guy. I think this is definitely a guy we're heavily considering here.
Yeah, that's something that is interesting to bring up real fast. Just while we're talking about quarterback options, and we'll talk about re-signing and free agency, obviously. Cap room is around 100 to 116 million this offseason. It depends on, obviously, who they re-sign, what type of cap penalties they incur. But that's what it starts at. That's the what's the word? Like, the guess. What's the word for a guess?
I have no idea.
Like, educated guess. You know what that is?
Well, yeah, but I don't think that's what you're trying to say.
I think it is. What is that word?
Shoot.
I have no idea. Okay, this is not the point. My point being that
projection, or
yeah, maybe it's projection. It is their projection for their money this offseason. So they have so much cap room to play with, and I think that something we've talked about before, and we might end up doing, is bringing in a couple guys and letting them compete, letting them get the opportunity. If they're playing well, keep them in, like, having them compete against each other type thing. Give them all that experience and see which one works out. And I think Trey Lance is one of those perfect guys that we would bring in. And I honestly think we really should bring him in.
Yeah. Some other options would be keeping Justin Fields.
That's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, it's on paper, it makes sense. Like, he's already under contract, but I think we got to cut him. I think you save $10 million.
If you cut post June 1st, you save 10.
Yeah, you have 2 post June 1st cuts you can do. I don't even know if we have another one that we're thinking about. So
yeah,
that's an obvious choice. He's a guy who, even though he's kind of on paper similar to Trey Lance, where he's got the tools, you just want to see if it can work out. I've just seen so much from Fields. He started like 4 years in the NFL.
He's gotten the opportunities and not been able to succeed.
He's never been good. With the Bears, his best play was just while he was on the run, right? And then he was still super inconsistent, especially as a passer. If they ever got to the playoffs with Justin Fields somehow, I just know he would have made a mistake because he was making mistakes every other game to lose him games. So,
and not to mention, like you said, he's very similar to Trey Lance in that aspect, but like Trey Lance hasn't gotten the opportunities, and he has. So, and Trey Lance is way younger.
So he's just not a guy. Well, it's probably only like a year.
It's
max.
It's a few years.
He came in at older than
I think
22?
that Fields is 27 right now.
Dang. Yeah, I mean, he's just gotten every opportunity, and he has not shown anything. So
yeah, so
especially this season, he's getting under 50 yards multiple games. That's ridiculous.
And when you have the opportunity to save $10 million to cut a guy that you don't want playing anyway, you're gonna take it every time. So spoiler alert, we're gonna cut Justin Fields. Another guy that I thought was interesting is Malik Willis. I don't know how likely it is that he actually hits the open market in real life, but he's an interesting one. He's looked really good on the Packers when he's gotten the opportunities to come in. One of the best backups, if not the best backup in the NFL right now, in my personal opinion. He's got that rushing ability. We all knew that. But on the Titans, he just really struggled to be accurate at all. But he's really fixed that up on the Packers. Maybe it's the scheme. Maybe it's, the fact that maybe they limit the playbook when he's in because he's a backup. But he's another guy that I think is interesting to bring in and kind of just give reps to and see what you've got there.
Yeah, I mean, he developed his processing like crazy somehow when he went to the Packers. Like, we definitely simplified the playbook. Less reads to go through. It's just a lot easier for him. But I don't think the Packers will bring him back just because I think he's going to be getting a decent amount of money. And I think he's going to get an opportunity to start somewhere, at least compete for a starting job. I just don't think it's going to be on the Jets, personally.
Yeah, I'd much rather bring in Trey Lance is my thought process right now. The last one I wrote down was Zach Wilson. It doesn't make the most sense because it's the Jets. But I do think he's like, if you couldn't tell by the theme of this list, this is just all guys that maybe haven't got enough opportunities or they have tools and could use another shot or whatever it may be. He's the one I'm probably would do last, I'd say, out of those three. Malik Willis, Trey Lance, and Zach Wilson. 100% for the Jets. But I just think in general, I'm taking Trey Lance first, and I think I'm taking Willis second. So, I in my opinion, those are all the ones I wrote down, and then obviously drafting a quarterback, which we'll talk about in a little bit, like I said. But in my opinion, I think we should go Trey Lance if we're going to do a quarterback option this season.
I also think Tyrod's an option just to get that veteran in the room. He's already been in there.
Just to keep him. I
don't think we should go after a different veteran. I think if we want a veteran at all, it's going to be Tyrod.
I agree. I don't think he's still on contract, right? So
is he?
Yeah, I don't think his contract's up. I didn't write that down at least. I think we keep him.
And
if he's not, we'll re-sign him for really cheap.
What are we thinking? How many years for Trey?
I think we just signed him to a 1 year.
I was thinking maybe 2 years, kind of what they did with Fields. It's what the 49ers did with Mac Jones, which now looks really good. Be probably a 2 year, 11 or something.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I think that's 11. It. Because then we can also cut him if he ends up being awful. Yeah. It's not too much of a risk.
Yeah, I'm completely fine with that. Yeah, and just it doesn't give you too much cap hit. It maybe even saves you money like Fields if you structure it correctly. So, yeah, I'll be down for that, but we'll get to free agency in a little bit, and we can talk about that in more depth. Re-signing and cuts is what I've got up next. This is an important stage of free agency, obviously. The Jets have so many players that are expiring.
It's 25.
It's ridiculous. Most of them I don't care about keeping at all. Obviously, they're going to keep a lot of them in real life because you got to have that depth and stuff. But I think the most important one, in my opinion, we got to bring back AVT, in my opinion. I know he's been injury prone. I know he's injured. But this offensive line is going to be elite, and he's going to be a part of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love AVT. He can play all across the line. He's played every single position for the Jets. He's had multiple season-ending injuries, which is very concerning. But we just got to, maybe get a decent guy underneath him so then he's out. It's not the worst-case scenario. When he's been playing, he's been a star for the Jets. So I think we got to bring him back. He shouldn't be too expensive because of the injuries. But
yeah, exactly. And I think that could lower the price and stuff. And if it does, and am I that worried about injuries? Yes, I understand it would suck if he gets hurt, but this offensive line's still going to be good if he gets hurt, because they have so many good pieces. But it just brings him to another level with him there. I think there's just no point in letting him go, especially with this much cap room. I understand if you really need to save money, maybe let the injury-prone guy go. Give him another chance. This guy is very good at football. Like you said, he can play all over the line, and we have so much cap space to throw around. I definitely think we should sign AVT. That's the one I wrote down as we need to re-sign. Okay. I don't know if you have anyone you need.
I have a bunch just to talk about. I have Alan Lazard,
I have multiple to talk about.
No, Alan Lazard.
Obviously not.
Yeah, I just put him down. He's,
I think we should talk about Quincy for a second.
Yeah, Quincy.
He got benched.
For whatever reason.
No one knows. I mean, it just means he's gone.
It's not related to his play.
I wrote down he gone.
Yeah, things are clearly ending bad with the Jets. They got rid of his brother Quinnen and then benched him.
Yep.
What's wrong with that? Sherwood's
they do not like
bad,
Williams.
And I don't know who their other linebacker is who's replacing Quincy, honestly. So
yeah, I have no idea.
I know he's been on the field. I saw him make a nice play after he got benched. So I was like, I don't know. Every time I've been watching Quincy, he's a borderline top 10 linebacker. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't think it's I think he just is. I think he's been very good.
He's definitely back end of top 10, but yeah, he's a great linebacker. Like I don't understand why they want to get rid of him, but he is like 28, 29 years old. Makes
maybe the Broncos
sense.
should bring him in.
He definitely should.
It'd be nice, but Quincy Williams is a great player. It's just he's not, like, we're trying to keep this realistic, and realistically, he's not staying here.
Yeah.
So he's going to be gone. Someone I think is super, super interesting to talk about is going to be the Breece Hall situation. What's going on with that?
Well, they decided they didn't want a 4th-round pick to move on from him. I think that means they should keep him.
Right.
They should have taken the trade if they didn't want to re-sign him.
I completely agree.
We should, at bare minimum, tag and trade. Like, bare minimum.
I want to keep him. I was thinking about this for a while because I was like, I think this is realistically like the weirdest decision that they're going to have in real life. It's like, I don't know which way they're going to go with it. The tag wouldn't be that bad at all. Running backs don't get paid that much.
Probably like 13. It's nothing crazy.
But I do. So if we tag and trade, I don't think that's that bad. But I do think that we should keep him because I think that we're going to be trying to develop these guys. We want to give them weapons. And a run game, I think, is so underratedly important for young quarterbacks or just quarterbacks with lack of experience, like if Trey Lance was rolled out there, right? I think that they need a run game. You need somebody you can be confident in. Otherwise, they're just going to play 7 people deep every single play, and you're not going to do anything. Like, it's going to be so hard to go through your reads and find a player. Having that check down outlet as a receiving back, too. Breece Hall can be very good in the check down game, make something happen out of nothing. I just think that Breece Hall is a great player to bring in and help develop with this team. And obviously, running backs are one of those positions you can really move on from really fast and get a fast replacement. But I think for the next couple of years, I want Breece here just to help develop this football team, even if he's not here when we're competing.
I don't know if he'd want to stay, honestly, but
yeah,
I think we should probably keep him. They do have Isaiah Davis, Braylon Allen, pretty solid 2 and 3 running back, right?
Yeah.
You don't want them as your number one. I like Isaiah Davis.
Allen's
I think he's got a lot of upside. He's a great receiving back. I think he's better than Braylon Allen, despite I don't know why everyone loves Braylon Allen so much. It doesn't make any sense.
Because he was 20, I guess. I don't know.
Now he's like 22. So.
Yeah. And he's
not special anymore.
He's the exact same. So, yeah, I don't know.
Worse.
Not my favorite, but I really do think maybe we sign him to I would sign Breece to like a 2-year if he was open to it, if not franchise.
I think franchise is probably the way.
You think
I think that's what's gonna end up happening.
I agree. It's the most realistic because there's just no way he wants to be here. He's posting things on Instagram like, I wish I was gone too.
Yeah, but you think about it, we can convince Breece Hall to stay after we franchise tag him if we start playing well, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. So, yeah, I think franchise tag makes the most sense for Breece. And then, obviously, you have a bunch of other players, so if you want to go over them.
We also got to do John Simpson. He's been their guard. He's been a good guard for them. Do we want to keep him? We also have, I believe, I don't think I wrote him down. I thought Josh Myers, I remember him signing a 1-year deal. But Josh Myers is also there. Both of them have been starting for them this season since ABT has been hurt. I think we got to pick one of them to keep around. Myers is going to be a lot cheaper, but I think Tippmann's best position is center. So if we want to keep him at center, Myers isn't playing guard.
Do we really care enough about Simpson to keep him?
He's been good for the Jets.
I mean, they have 4 really good linemen. I'm not as worried about the 5th spot as I am about so many other positions.
Who's their 4th? AVT, tackles.
Tippmann.
Oh, I don't know. I forgot about him. Yeah. Anyway, but so you think we should just keep Josh Myers? Because he'd be pretty cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
He signed a 1-year 3.
It's shown that if he's playing around a great offensive line, he can be hidden.
He's functional.
Like he was with the Packers. And I think that you can get like a guy maybe in the 4th or so, like a guard. You try developing, you start going. Like, you find something there. The 5th lineman spot, I just think that paying 5 linemen is just too much.
Yeah, Simpson's probably going to want like 13 minimum. Like, he's going to be a more expensive guy. I think Myers will be.
I think it's a place we can save money that maybe isn't going to be talked about enough.
We also got two of their safeties that have been playing a lot, Tony Adams and Andre Sisco. Do you want to keep either of them?
I don't want to keep Sisco. I mean,
he was really good for the Jaguars like 2 years ago. He's like that
was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he's young. He shouldn't be like bad 2 years later,
Adams would just be like a solid starter, nothing special.
I think I'm fine bringing back Adams. I think he'd be very cheap, and I think that we can bring him in, if nothing, as a depth piece. But I think, with how bad this team is, it's going to be likely that he's going to get a lot of playing time. But I don't think we need to bring back both. Like, I think we only need one.
I forgot his name, but the Bama safety they drafted last season has been starting for them. He's not looked the best, but, rookie starting. I like that experience. We don't really need to bring back both.
That's what I'm saying. So which one do you want to bring back?
I think Tony Adams makes sense.
Okay. Let's bring back Tony Adams.
I think John Mechie's worth a conversation. They have no receiving depth.
That's true.
A.D. Mitchell's going to be, and Garrett Wilson on the outside. Or Garrett Wilson also plays a lot of slot. Mechie can also come in at slot. I don't know. He's looked good for them this year for the most part, right?
I'd say we keep Mechie because ultimately, we're looking at maybe you can sign a really cheap receiver in free agency or something, and then they're looking at maybe a receiver 2 in the draft, right? Like we're looking at that sort of thing. Having that depth is not a bad thing at all, especially when you just traded for him, like you said. Like you're giving up that value, you might as well keep him and try to use him, for something. So I think that it makes perfect sense to keep him around, and he's going to be super cheap.
I was looking at other receiving options in free agency. I just don't think it's worth letting him go to free agency. There's not that many good options, especially all the best ones probably won't want to come to the Jets. So
yeah.
I also put down Max Mitchell. If we want a budget guard, he'd be fine.
As for cuts, I don't have very many on here. We talked about Justin Fields already, how he saves us $10 million post-June 1st. I think that's the easiest cut of all time. We're cutting him. We already kind of confirmed that we're cutting him, but saves us a good $10 million. I mean, that's a lot of money, but you can save. And then I think there's one more guy that I want to cut, and that's Harrison Phillips. He's a little bit older. I know that he's not the worst player in the world or anything. The interior D-line is so bad right now. I mean, he's the best interior D lineman we got right now, and
just get rid of him.
Yeah, well, the point being, he's clearly not helping enough, Yeah. And I think that when he saves us $7.5 million. I think that's a good amount of money to save, for a guy that's just not really a factor. He's a little bit there, but it's just not worth that much. They traded for him. I think that was a dumb move. You gave up 2.6 to get him in a 7th. Not the worst value in the world or anything, but you're not competing. It's not like you need a little bit extra DT depth. Your DTs suck. They're terrible.
I mean, Briggs was also a decent trade. We still have him even if we cut Smith. And then Monty Smith's the other guy. I don't know. It's hard to trust Monty Smith getting, any snaps.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but, Harrison Phillips just isn't that good, and he saves us money. We can go out and try to find a DT. I have a couple
budget DT.
Yeah, we can go find a budget DT, and then also we can look in the draft for a DT, and I want that opportunity for them to play a lot, So I think Harrison Phillips makes sense to cut.
Okay, I mean, it definitely lowers the floor of the team, but
yeah,
we gotta make this team younger somehow.
All right, well, let's move into the team needs for this rest of this offseason. We're going into the big free agency period, the draft. What are we looking for? Obviously, quarterback. We need a quarterback pretty bad. That's probably the biggest need by far. I think wide receiver 2 is a very big need right now. You got A.D. Mitchell, but he hasn't shown that he can be that wide receiver 2 quite yet. We're hoping that he can be, but right now he's not. Maybe that's something that we look for. But I also wrote down DB. I know that Thomas has been playing well. And we kept Tony Adams, but still could really use a safety, especially could use a corner really bad. I don't think they have that star corner for sure.
And I'd also throw in linebacker. You said DT, right?
Yeah, linebackers also.
I'd throw in linebacker. I'd throw in guard, honestly.
Something to look for. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also the future at running back. If we want to, add a running back.
Interior D line also. So basically whole defense.
Basically, everything besides wide receiver 1 and lineman is pretty low priority. Yeah, that's about it.
I mean, edge, I would definitely take it if we could get somebody. All they have is really Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson right now. But
he's fine, but I want
he's on his 5th year.
They're just the same defender, Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson.
So true.
I need some difference.
So true. But also, I just think that linebacker is a bigger priority. Our linebackers are terrible right now with Quincy gone and stuff.
It's literally Sherwood and a bunch of nobody.
So we're looking for a lot of people in this free agency period. I wrote down a ton of names.
All right.
I'll start them off with a couple. Some of the names I wrote down Boye Mafe. I think he's interesting.
He's a way better run defender than we have.
Right, and so maybe that'll help you out a little bit. And he's still a good pass rusher. He's a good player. And you're not going to get him for that expensive. People have him way lower on the rankings for some reason.
I'd assume he's definitely. What's a pass rusher who got signed last season? I'm trying to think of a pass rusher out of his rookie deal.
I'm not sure.
Dang.
Well, while we're on the thing of pass rushers, I guess I'll throw it. Jalen Phillips was an option. He's
think he's going to stay with the Eagles.
I imagine he would, but
I'm very positive.
If he was there, I don't think that's a bad option. And then, do I have any other pass rushers on here? I don't think so.
Let me see if I put any.
But I think that both those guys are kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. Someone that I really, really want, if we could get him, I just don't know how likely it is that he actually hits the open market, is Quentin Lake. I think that he'd be super fun to bring in. He's going to be 27 entering next season, so still good age to get him in there. He can play any spot in the DB, really. Like, he can play all around on the field. And I think that's something we definitely would need.
Yeah, I think basically every team's going to be interested in him, though.
Yeah.
He's such an underrated player. The casual fan doesn't even know who he is, but
he's so good. I don't know how likely it is that he comes to the Jets. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know why you'd leave the Rams to go to the Jets.
Exactly.
Interesting.
I don't know how likely that is. If we want to address interior D-line, Travis Jones is available.
That's my number one option for
I think
D-line.
that would be awesome, but I don't know how likely it is he comes to us either.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like a huge name guy. I could see it.
We'd have to probably overpay a little bit.
Yeah.
But
he's also a little bit older than you'd expect coming off of his rookie deal.
With the money that we have, he's only going to be 26 going into next season.
Oh, I thought he was 27.
So I wrote down all their ages of going into next year. So Travis Jones will be 26 going into next season.
Okay, that's not too bad.
I think that Travis Jones is a very good option if we want to do it. But I think with all the money that we have, it's cool to overpay on one person to make sure they come, because someone's going to come because they get extra money. Like one of these guys. So we pick one and bring them in because they want extra money. I wrote down all the quarterbacks we were talking about as free agent options. Wrote down Romeo Doubs if we want a receiver. He's going to be cheaper.
I don't think he's staying with Green Bay, but I think he'd rather go to again.
But he'd be interesting to bring in. Yeah. And then I wrote down Alec Pierce. Doesn't really make sense with Adonai Mitchell here, but I still think he's a really good free agent prospect. And then I wrote down Reek Woolen.
It's interesting.
It's very interesting because I think that he kind of just fits a rebuilding team in a way.
Yeah, but it's almost like you're taking a project who started for 4 seasons, or at least they tried to, and then benched him. It's just like, I don't know, he's gotten all the chances to show he's good. He's had flashes early in his career, and he's been getting worse. So it's kind of a weird one.
It's a very weird one, but I still want to throw it in there.
Yeah, I mean, we got Azarai Thomas, we got Jarvis Brownlee, and then we got
Brandon
Stevens.
I don't know how much I trust Jarvis Brownlee. I don't want Brandon Stevens on this team.
Brownlee's been good for them in the slot.
I don't want Brandon Stevens on this team. We're not going to compete with Brandon Stevens. So
he's going to at least
be here. Well, I'm benching him. I'm telling Joe Brady's got to bench him.
Yeah, but Brandon Stevens might be better. He's definitely better than Reek Woolen. Reek Woolen's garbage.
I mean, Reek Woolen's definitely not good,
Brandon
but he's got
Stevens
the tools.
Functional.
Is he?
Functional cornerback.
Reek Woolen has the tools. You know, we could maybe turn him into something. The last guy I wrote down is Greg Newsome.
Yeah.
He's only going to be 26 going into next year. That's really young for a guy off his rookie deal. And I think that he's not good or anything, but he's interesting.
But wouldn't the Jags want to? They just traded for him. I guess he wasn't looking great. So I don't know.
And then obviously there's also Quay Walker. I think that should be one of our top priorities.
Yeah, Quay Walker, is he the top linebacker? Definitely the top young linebacker.
Yeah, he's the top linebacker.
He's been the green dot for the Packers. We need a green dot because I don't want Jamie Sherwood to have it because he's garbage. He's so good as like a blitzer. If we get a good defensive mind in there, he can use him really well. Like, we use him really well. He plays edge, he plays blitzer, he plays in coverage.
He's just something we
everywhere. Tackling in the open field, not his best trait. Sometimes he gets blown by in coverage, but he's still like a pretty good linebacker, honestly, and definitely better than Sherwood, better than anything we have.
Yeah, I mean, by far. It's just something we need right now. He's younger. He can be here for a while. He can, like you said, be that green dot for us. I just think he makes perfect sense. That's my number one option in this free agency. I think linebacker's such a big hole, and people don't understand how important linebackers are. I think people take it for granted sometimes.
Well, most of the time, you can get like a Jack Gibbons for like $4 million, like, and he can be your linebacker, and it doesn't really matter too much.
Linebacker 1 though, I don't want that. Like,
it's just not like that much of a.
I think the two guys I really want are Travis Jones and Quay Walker. Those are the two biggest needs and two biggest opportunities, I think, for us in this free agency period.
Okay, some players you didn't say. I put Tyler Linderbaum on here. If we wanted to pay for a lineman and make this line elite, that would move Joe Tim into guard.
I just don't think it's worth the money.
I think
like with the position our team's at. It makes sense for like everyone except for the Jets, basically.
I put down Leo Chenal as well.
I didn't know he was a free agent.
He's a free agent. I don't know if he's going to stay with the Chiefs.
That'd actually be interesting. I might like that more.
He's definitely better than Quay, for sure.
And I actually think he'd be cheaper.
I doubt it. He's so good.
I think he'd be cheaper.
I don't know. If he's cheaper, we should definitely go after him over.
I think we could get him for cheaper, and yeah, I mean, I like that.
Also, if we want to save money at linebacker, Christian Harris also makes sense. He's shown some good play in his career. He's been hurt lately, but
he's gonna be really cheap, right?
Yeah, probably really cheap, $5 million or less.
So maybe we pick him up with Leo Chenal and completely reform the linebacker group.
Yeah, I mean that'd be interesting. I just what if we want to draft a linebacker? There's no space at that point.
Yeah,
Sherwood's gonna be on the team, and I'm totally comfortable with him being my third linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, we have one linebacker down as a potential grab in one of the rounds here for us, but we have another option at that pick that maybe would be even better anyway. Maybe we grab 2 linebackers. It's still going to be relatively cheap. Both these guys are not going to be expensive.
I don't know.
Combined.
It's so hard for me to guess Leo Chenal's contract because it's probably going to be less than he's worth.
Exactly.
He's so good.
Then why don't we pick him up? That's perfect.
Let's look up a projected contract. This is kind of annoying. It's just showing that he signed to his rookie contract. 3 year, $30 million is this guy's projection. This is November 10th, so it's pretty.
I'd be cool with that.
I mean, it's probably
10 years or 10 mil. I mean,
I think we probably have to pay 13, 14 Jets
I'm
tax.
cool with that.
I still think that's fine. That's but that's less than we're paying Sherwood.
And when you bring,
if we're overpaying for Leo Chenal, I think that's a great option.
And then we bring in Christian Harris too. I think that would be cool.
Okay, so 3-year deal for Chenal.
Let's do a 3-year deal
for Chenal. Go 4.
I'm cool with the 3, and then honestly, I'm cool with even if we just brought Christian Harris on a 1.
Yeah, 1 year prove it deal.
Yeah,
I like that.
Cheap. And then, do we want to go after anybody else? Do you want to go after a Travis Jones?
I wonder if there's any other budget DTs because Travis Jones is going to be sneaky expensive.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think that he's obviously a really good player, but it's just such a big need right now. But we can also look at the draft to address that.
Yeah. But if we're cutting Harrison Phillips, I'd like us to find an answer in
something.
Free agency,
we need something
even
in free
if it's
agency.
not the best player ever.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Oh, this isn't loading. Oh wait.
But I think that looking at what we have on the board with our sorry, I'm blanking. With our prospects, who we're looking at in the draft board, I think that we have a solid plan of what we're going to do in the draft. And I think that I don't know. I think that with these linebackers, we shore up the linebacking position. We go and have a good draft. I think we can really start putting this team in the right direction. They have a lot of pieces.
So are you just ready? So should we get Travis Jones?
I mean, I'm down.
I think it's gonna be a lot more than you'd expect.
But I mean, we have the young. If we want to attack DT in the draft, we have young pieces. We got Mozzie Smith. We can try to develop. I mean,
I guess.
But it just depends which way you want to go with it.
Yeah,
we have plenty more cap room. It might be good to just throw some extra money at Travis Jones.
We probably still have what, $75 million.
Our cuts.
Well, actually, we re-signed a bunch.
Our cuts alone paid for Leo Chenal, and Christian Harris almost. So we still have a ton of cap room, a ton. Probably.
We also re-signed AVT. Breece Hall got tagged.
Okay, so I'd say around 70 is probably what we have left.
Yeah, I mean, we could take a 3-year deal on Travis Jones.
Yeah, overpay him a little bit, and I still think we'd have plenty of money.
$45 million or something.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with that.
I mean, he hasn't played a lot. Until this past season, I don't think he was
starting. But he's been really good, and we could use really good, really bad. So, honestly, if you're cool with it, I think that's a way we go.
All right, so we signed Trey Lance.
We signed Lance. We signed Travis Jones. We signed, what was it, Leo Chenal and Christian Harris, and that's our free agency. I like that free agency a lot.
It's pretty solid.
I like that free agency a lot. Is there any other position we need to tap, a depth position while we're here in free agency?
Not really.
Not that I can think of.
If we need depth, I don't know. Just sign it after.
Yeah, sign it after. like Madden or something. But well, this is going to be arguably the most exciting part for a lot of people. We're going to move on to the draft portion. I think this first pick is very interesting because we don't know where the Jets are going to end up right now with their first
I'd assume it's lower than 7. Like, I mean, higher up in the draft than 7.
Right. So, but we're going to be doing it as if it were 7, obviously, because that's where they are right now. And so talking about some of the prospects, let's talk about the quarterbacks first, because I think a lot of people expect the Jets to take a quarterback. The 3 that are really like going to be considered at this pick, obviously there's also a really good chance they're not here. But you got Dante Moore. I think Dante Moore is very interesting. He's got the potential to be a legitimate franchise quarterback. Mentally, he plays with poise. He shows leadership in the NFL, or shows leadership that NFL coaches will love. Only started 5 games before this season, so he's very raw. He's got all that potential. He excels in touch, accuracy, and precise ball placement. He also has a quick throwing motion, but he doesn't have the strongest arm, and he struggles keeping mechanics under pressure. So, like, when he gets pressured, that's kind of worrying.
That's pretty good. So,
and his arm is definitely not the strongest. You've seen that when going downfield, which is kind of weird for like a potential guy, which makes me not want him as much.
Got, like, good movement,
His
athletic. Arm's not bad. It's not like a weakness. It's just like definitely not a strength. Nothing like what we've seen.
I think it might be a weakness from what I saw in the Indiana game, but I think that he's raw. He hasn't played a lot. This is his first real season. He is very accurate. He's got a lot of great touch. Kind of something that we saw. Maybe just this Oregon play style. It feels like we talk about this a lot with these Oregon quarterbacks. How they don't have a strong arm.
But this one's got potential.
And yeah, which is different. So I don't know how that makes sense.
It's fun.
But I think that it's very interesting. I don't love Dante Moore, but he honestly could be there at 7. I wouldn't be too surprised.
I don't think he's coming out this year. I think he's going back to college. I think he's going to try to make a play to be drafted higher unless people tell him, hey, you're going to be drafted in the top 5 or whatever, which I don't think is going to happen.
Even as a top 10, I would come out.
I don't think he's going to be in the top 10.
You don't think so?
I think he would very much benefit from going back to college. And I don't say that a lot. Like, I think Aller, I just thought that was super weird that he went back to college, obviously.
He needed it.
No, he didn't. He was going to be a first-round pick. And now he's going to be a 5th round pick.
He thought he was going to be good, so he did need it.
I think that one didn't make sense. I think it makes sense for Dante Moore.
Someone that I think is maybe less likely to be there at 7, but I honestly wouldn't be that surprised to see him start dropping if anything happens in this playoff run is Fernando Mendoza. There's a lot of hype around him right now. He's probably going to win the Heisman. Not very likely that we would take him, but he's got a traditional pocket passer build. Not something you see as often nowadays. More mobile. He's got a very polished skill set. He excels at quick decision making with a good arm talent and good sense of pressure in the pocket. He lacks the ability to use eye manipulation, which is more something you want to see in the NFL. Being able to hold the safety, pull off corners, anything like that, linebackers. And he doesn't have any elite athletic ability or anything.
Or average athletic ability.
Or average athletic ability. So those are some of his biggest weaknesses. But overall, just a very sound passer, and good build.
I don't know about his ceiling being too high. He kind of reminds me of like what I'd imagine. I didn't watch Joe Flacco when he's young. Kind of reminds me of what I imagine he'd be, because obviously I'm not going to compare to old Joe Flacco who can't move, because this guy can move if you give it to him, But like the 6'5" frame, he's got a strong arm, but nothing like that'll blow you away. His accuracy isn't even the best. Like he just doesn't feel like the number 1 quarterback prospect everyone's talking to me about. Like, I feel like he'll be a good player. I just don't think he'll ever be a great player and worth the number 1 overall pick.
Maybe we're getting a little too caught up in his story of Indiana and all that. But we'll see in this playoff run. I'm really excited to watch him and get more info on him. Like I said, as of right now, not likely that he's there. People are projecting to go like 1. So,
it's an emotional guy.
Very emotional guy. Last quarterback that I thought we should talk about, someone that I do think will be there, as of right now at least, is Ty Simpson.
I don't know. I think it's like 50-50. I could see him going top 3. I could see him going top 5.
As of right now, he's not projected to go
late first round. I don't know where he's going to go. And I can also see him going back to college.
He's a first-year starter, but he showcases that poise right away. His pocket navigation and passing accuracy are both incredible, especially for how early into his career that he is. He utilizes skills like eye manipulation really well. He uses, he's able to hold safeties off really well. He's so beyond his level of experience. I mean, the fact that he's able to do that in his first ever year starting is a very, very good sign for a player. He also is good processor, and he's highly accurate. But he does rush under pressure. Another guy that kind of struggles with the pressure. His mechanics speed up, and they get sloppy. And his anticipation is just not good as of right now. But that is something that can definitely be explained by starting your first year with these guys. So he's someone that shows a lot of potential, another raw guy kind of type thing. But I know you're a big fan of Ty Simpson.
Yeah, I think he's easily QB1 in this class for me. I think his floor, it's like not to where Mendoza's is, but like it's close enough that I'm saying with your potential, I think I can comfortably say you're QB1. I wouldn't take him number 1 overall because first year starting, he hasn't shown enough to me to be that number 1 overall pick. And there's a lot of good prospects in this class who have shown plenty, like Ruben Bain. I like Peter Woods. I like Caleb Downs. I don't think he should go at 1 because he's a safety, but I think he's being undervalued just because he plays safety. There's a lot of players that I feel confident will be good players, like Arvell Reese. I just don't see a reason to take any of these quarterbacks at 1, but I think Simpson's the best of the bunch.
Yeah, I mean, all of these guys are very interesting. I'm excited to watch more and more, like I said, with these playoffs coming up. I think they're all in the playoffs yet.
Ty Simpson could be a huge playoff riser.
Yeah, that's
he could
interesting.
Also take himself out of the first round, which then he would.
I mean, he's been struggling in these big games recently, so I don't know how confident I am he's going to rise, but I'm hoping that
he was really good against Georgia the first time they played, and then they played again, and
he was terrible.
Well, to be fair, they had negative rushing yards.
Oh, wow. I did not see that. Yeah, that's crazy.
And to be fair, obviously I'm not saying he played well, but when you have 0 rushing yards, you're not going to play well. So
yeah, for sure. Speaking of not wanting to take a quarterback, looking at some other options at this pick, Peter Woods really catches my eye. There is a chance he's not there, but
it's exactly what this team needs.
They're early in the draft process. It's very hard to tell who's going to be there. There's people that are like, oh, he's going to go top 5, and then he ends up dropping to the 5th round. So that's not going to happen. Yeah, right. But you know what I'm saying. And so it's just very weird. Peter Woods is exactly what they need, like you said. He's 6'3", 310, very big boy, very dense. Yeah. He has made impact since his freshman season. He won All-American right away in his first season, and he's been starting ever since. He's got great movement skills for just a DT, not just his size. And he's 310 pounds, which is insane. But he doesn't have a go-to pass rush move, which is a little concerning. But he's going to be a good run stopper right away, which is a great thing. I mean, you've got that size. And he does have some balance issues, but those are things that you work on. Those are things that you can teach. You can't teach size like this. You can't teach speed and athleticism like this. Peter Woods is a very interesting prospect, I think, for this Jets team.
Yeah, it's exactly what they need. Obviously, as you said, needs to refine his pass rush moves. But that's something we got to teach him. We got to develop him. He's got so much potential being that athletic at that size. And I don't think he'll end up being here at 7, but he is here, so we might as well. I think he's an option here.
I think he's definitely an option. I think the last option is Caleb Downs, but he's just not going to end up being here.
I think he could be here.
There's a very low chance.
I don't think there's a low chance.
Really?
It's Kyle Hamilton was the same way. He was supposed to go even top 5, and he went 14.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But for the Jets, I think this is maybe like the Rams should take him. A team like that, the team that's pretty complete, just needs another star at a less valuable position because safety is obviously less valuable. If you need to rebuild your team, you need to fill these holes. You want to start with more valuable positions in safety. So I don't think it makes too much sense for the Jets, but definitely worth it for another team.
Well, and it's just Caleb Downs is very good. He's just a prototypical safety. He does everything well. He can stop the run. He can defend the pass. He's got great size. He's incredibly athletic. He's just everything you want in a safety. However, like you said, it's just not the most important position in the world. I think that safety is a pretty big need for the Jets right now.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's just not worth it at this spot when you need to attack so many other things. And I honestly think we should lean towards Peter Woods since he's here in this mock draft.
Yeah, I don't feel too terrible for the Jets having Malachi Moore and Tony Adams go at it again. It's not the worst thing ever. But
it's kind of bad.
I think we should add someone else, obviously, maybe in
maybe
third
later.
or fourth round.
Yeah, maybe later in the draft.
First round, I think we need to address more premium positions, and we did not address DT enough, in my opinion, because we cut Phillips and we replaced with Travis Jones. Got rid of one starter, got another one, and now we need another starter still.
Yeah, if we address it here, we take Peter Woods, him and Travis Jones. He learns under Travis Jones a little bit. Maybe they work together. This could be a great DT duo. We're in a really nice 4-3 set, and I think that it's just a really good pick here since he's available.
Like that pick.
All right, let's go with Peter Woods for the Jets' first-round pick here. Obviously, this is so early. Who knows what's going to happen in real life? I'm really interested to see it, but I really think the Jets would be smart not to attack quarterback. In every mock draft, I see the Jets are attacking quarterback. So if you're still here, let us know what you think of that, not attacking quarterback in this first round, because I just haven't seen it for the Jets anywhere. So I'm really interested to see what people think.
You think about it, next year, 2 first-round picks. That's ammo to move up for a quarterback. We're 100%. Also could still draft one in this to compete with Trey Lance.
Yeah.
I still think I think this is definitely the smarter move, unless a guy like Ty Simpson shows you enough in the playoffs that you feel comfortable taking him. I just don't think there's a quarterback like that in this class.
Yeah, I completely agree. Moving on to our next first, we have an extra first from the Colts this season, trading Sauce Gardner away. So we're going to, was this pick 18 now?
Yeah, I think that's
right. I mean, there's some interesting options here. I think what we wrote down Sonny Styles. I think Sonny Styles is interesting, but we did attack linebacker.
Yeah, we did spend
free agency.
A good amount on linebacker.
Yeah,
we got 2 guys
it doesn't really make sense to take him anymore. But another player that I think is super, super interesting is Avian Terrell. Out of Clemson. He is a 20-year-old. So he's very young. He started as a true freshman. He's a true junior right now, and he's decided to come out. He's already declared for the draft. He's racked up 82 tackles, 19 pass breakups, and 3 interceptions in his last 2 seasons. So having 19 pass breakups in the last 2 seasons is a lot. That's a lot. And 3 picks, of course. He is very good in zone coverage, and he has a very smooth back pedal. However, and he's got a really good hip flip, but he does struggle sometimes in man coverage, and he's just not a good run defender. I think that's his biggest weakness, is that he's just a really bad run defender. But overall in coverage, he's very good. Is better in zone, but very, very good coverage player. Him being available here at 18 might be a perfect fit for the Jets.
I like that he's young. I mean, we're going to be re-signing him again. If we pick up his 5th-year option, we're going to be re-signing him at 25 years old. That's insane. So I think it's a great pick. Already got a brother in the NFL, AJ Terrell. Clearly got the NFL bloodline, NFL genetics. Clearly made for the NFL.
Brother can help him out too, teach him a little bit maybe. And like you said, he's so young. The fact that he's able to play this well at such a young age on a real football team too. Like, this isn't like a guy playing at like Northern Mississippi State or something, you know? Like, this is a real team. This is Clemson. Like, he's going out here and guarding NFL caliber receivers a lot, and he's able
18 years old.
18 years old. He's able to lock them down. Old. He's able to get a ton of pass breakups, some interceptions. Like, he's able to make plays on the ball. Imagine when he gets NFL coaching and training and like just keeps getting better. Obviously, like, when you're drafting, you have to hope that your player's going to get better, but he's 20 years old. That's like the perfect recipe to start getting better. So I think this is an amazing pick, and he's by far my number 1 choice here if you're down to attack corner, because I just don't think we have that star corner, and I think he could turn into that.
So the good part about him being 20 is now Brandon Stevens, I still feel comfortable starting him over Avian Terrell.
Or even just like both playing, you know?
Yeah, they could swap out, but I think because we already have that veteran in the room, he doesn't have to play right away. It takes that pressure off.
Exactly.
He can sit there, develop. He can also, play some snaps. Obviously, 4 corners do get snaps.
And if he's playing well, you keep playing him. You get him some extra time, and but like you said, there's not a rush on him
and
to develop.
We need a CB1 too. I think Osright Thomas works as a CB2. I think that's what he's going to
Brownlee
end up being.
as a slot.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be a CB1. We need to get a guy who we think can be that CB1. I think Terrell can be that.
Yeah, and he definitely can be that. 20 years old, he's already showing signs of that. And imagine what he's going to show at 23, you know? So I'm very excited about this pick. I think this is an awesome
picking
pick.
Up his 5th-year option when he's 23.
That's crazy, dude. So, and he could be a star by then. So I really think I'm excited about Terrell just in general. I can't wait to watch some film on him and just see how good this guy is. But Avian Terrell is going to be our pick here at 18. Moving over to the second round. The second round's a little bit more interesting. We have another 2 picks. We don't have any 3rd-round picks. I know this is a 3-round mock, but
not really.
It's a 2-round mock because they only have seconds. But you get 4 picks anyway, so who cares? I think Surratt's interesting here. We wrote down Elijah Surratt. I also think it's interesting to look at a quarterback here. You got Lenore Sellers, you got Nussmeier, people like him. You got John Mateer. And then I also wrote down Chris Bell if we wanted to go for a different receiver.
Yeah, for the quarterbacks, I think Sellers would make sense It's just like, are you spending a second-round pick on a guy you're pretty sure is probably not going to be that good? I think he needs to go back to school. He needs to transfer, get out of South Carolina. Their team is awful. Their offensive line is terrible. I think Nick Harbour, their receiver's coming out this year, so the situation is getting even worse. He's going to be able to transfer basically anywhere he wants. And he's a young player, too, so I don't think he'll come out. But
yeah, I mean, we're assuming he does, obviously, in this mock. I think it's actually a really interesting one to look at is taking a guy like Sellers, having you compete next to Lance, winner plays. Maybe if they play bad, you bench him, play the other guy, see if he develops. If not, who cares? You had 2 seconds anyway, and we attack. Or maybe we get him with our next second. You know what I'm saying? Very interesting to look at, and then you get another great player at some point. I think that is something that we should definitely consider.
Yeah, I mean, Mateer doesn't excite me too much. At the beginning of the year, he was playing pretty good, and then he got hurt, and then
he's been rough since. And we're not taking Nussmeier.
And I don't think his potential's anything crazy, for how bad he's playing.
And for those who haven't watched Nussmeier, he's benched, so you can't.
He's not even playing.
Yeah, he's just not good at all. We're not taking him. If he goes in the second round, I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
Very, very shocked. But it depends on what way you want to go with this. Another player that just at some point in the second round, maybe with our next one, is A.J. Havley. I think he's also a very interesting pick. He's safety out of LSU, I believe.
Halsey?
Yeah, sorry. But he is very, very, very good when it comes to his coverage instincts.
He's very pro-ready.
Yes. And he struggles in man coverage sometimes. But that's not the most important thing in the world for a safety. Our
safeties right now suck in man coverage.
I'd much rather have him be good in zone though.
Yeah.
And so he's got incredible ball skills, but he is just not as good in man. So
yeah, I mean, I feel good about him starting right now.
Yes.
Especially we don't have any competition.
Right.
Malachi Moore is one of our starting safeties, which, I mean, he hasn't looked the best this year as a rookie.
He's got a lot of potential. If you can help this guy learn his man coverage ability, he's already got zone on lock.
I think he's going to be a good safety in the league. So I think it makes sense. He might be there with our next pick. Is there anybody who won't be that we should take now?
I mean, it depends if you want to take a receiver. If we want to take Surratt, then probably. We should probably take him now. I think that you're right. I think we can wait on Havley till we get to our next pick. If we want to take a quarterback here, I also think that's not a bad idea. I think that's kind of we only have one quarterback.
Well, we've 2.
That's even
Tyrod.
We're even considering starting.
Yeah.
And I think that with our mindset going into it, I think it's good to have 2 quarterbacks that could compete.
Take Jake Retzloff in the 7th round. Well, he's going to get drafted. Not sure why, but yeah, we could take. I feel like I'm taking Sellers when I'm taking a quarterback here.
Yeah, I mean, he's got potential. Maybe he works out.
Maybe Tyrod can mentor him. Back in Tyrod's day, he was similar to Lance. And
yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool to have a Lance, Lenore, Sellers competition. And honestly, am I that sold on Surratt that I want to take him here over Sellers?
He's a similar guy to Adonai Mitchell.
Right, and so and I think Adonai Mitchell has so much potential.
I think Adonai Mitchell might be their receiver too in the future.
Right,
I think somewhat confident.
I have he's got so much potential there. I'm okay letting him run as the wide receiver too. Maybe we give him a chance. You've got a great offensive line. You got Mason Taylor. You got Garrett Wilson. You got Breece Hall. You got all these. Now you got Adonai Mitchell. That's a good set of weapons for a rookie or Trey Lance to come in here and use.
Brady.
And Joe Brady. You've got the pieces you need now to develop. Having 2 chances at that with Lenore Sellers and Trey Lance, I think is not a bad idea at all. You have him competing here, get that mentoring, and see what happens. And at the worst case scenario, you trade up for a quarterback next season. But I think that would push them in the right direction. And I didn't come into this really thinking I was going to even want to draft a quarterback, but it kind of sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, at this spot's kind of a weird spot where we're we want Halsey, but we can get him next pick, and we don't feel too confident with another pick in this range.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we just take Sellers? It's the fun play.
I think so. I think let's do it.
I don't know if he's going to go this early just because of how he's played, but
yeah, but I think
the situation's making him a little lot worse.
Yeah, and I mean he's shown potential in the past. He's got tools, so why not? Let's take a shot. I did not think we were going to do this, but we're going to take Lenore Sellers with this pick for the Jets, their first pick of the second round. I mean, they also have very close by actually because it's the Cowboys pick instead of the Colts for this next one. And are we going to take the safety out of LSU?
I think so. I think he's got the perfect blend of potential with overall floor. I feel confident this guy's gonna be starting in the league for a long time, and we just need players who can get out there. And I
think he's got a good ceiling, like you said. So getting him out there is perfect.
I don't think he'll ever be a superstar, but
he can be a very good safety. So.
Look at the Jets' core players right now. He might be a top 3. I don't know. Wait. He's a top 5 core player for them right now.
Oh dear.
That's how bad this team is. I think adding a player like him where we feel confident he's going to be a safety of the future. I think that's a good play.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And we can recap everything we went over right now. So going into next year, what we would have as the Jets here is our coach would be Joe Brady. He's going to captain a team where either Trey Lance or Lenore Sellers is going to play quarterback. Kind of a weird combo, but kind of cool. They're going to be competing in preseason and stuff. That'll be a fun
Tyrod. we can pretend it's competition, so they feel motivated.
That'd be a fun preseason battle for sure.
It would be.
Very, very fun. You're going to have Breece Hall in the backfield still as he ended up staying. You got Garrett Wilson. You got Adonai Mitchell on the other side, and you got John Mechie in the slot, I guess. Maybe he turns into something.
I think if we did a full round mock draft, 4th round,
we take someone,
I want someone to stretch the field with this, personally. Yeah. I think that's what they need.
Yeah, I definitely would take that, but obviously this is not a 7th round mock draft.
I just want people to know we didn't just ignore receiver. I think they have to find someone. But
offensive line is about the same, except we let Simpson go. But this offensive line is still elite, especially if these tackles take steps forward. Which we have to assume they're going to.
Looked like a superstar.
Right, so we have to assume they will. At tight end, we still have Mason Taylor. So this offense, not looking too bad. It's got pieces and stuff, and new system. Maybe that system really helps these players thrive. On the defensive side of the ball, the interior is completely reformed. You got Peter Woods, and you got Travis Jones. I think that is going to be that's going to be the biggest difference, in my opinion. I mean, that from Harrison Phillips and Mozzie Smith, are we joking?
And Jawan Briggs.
Sorry, Jawan Briggs. Very big difference. That is awesome. We also revamped the linebacker room where we have Leo Chenal being our green dot with Christian Harris also on a 1-year prove-it deal, who I think is a really solid player. And I think those 4 players being all brought in is really, really nice there. We also have a new safety. Who, hopefully is going to play well. Maybe we can teach him some man coverage ability. He's going to play next to, who are we going to play him next to? Adams?
I mean, I'd obviously have him and Moore battle it out, but I'd assume Adams would win that.
And he just gets a starting job right away, the rook over here. And then we also drafted Avion Terrell to play corner for us. He's not going to be a starter necessarily right away, but he's going to get lots of time with Brandon Stevens, probably going to be splitting time or whatnot, or at least, some sort of split there. Maybe not, even if it's not 50-50.
Stevens is getting cut next year.
Yeah, so, and then hopefully Terrell develops into something special. So that would be our team going into next season. I think this is, depending on the quarterback's play, I think you can get a few wins with this team going into next year and really, if you can find your quarterback, use that ammo to trade up for a quarterback maybe, like we were talking about, then this could be or maybe this is one of your quarterbacks and you use those draft picks to just add to the team. This could be a real team in a couple years.
Yeah.
And I think this is what the Jets should do this offseason if they're able to. It's the blueprint. Yeah, hire us for GM. Let us know in the comments down below what you would change, what you would do. I think there's going to be a lot of people that would do a lot differently.
Yeah, for sure.
Because people want these quarterbacks taken early. Maybe they don't want to not address receiver as much as we did, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But let us know what you do differently down in the comments below. We really enjoyed doing this, so let us know if you like this style of video, and have a good one, everybody.